Welcome back to Share the Pants. Today we're going to talk about our favorite reality love show.
Ever. Our favorite ever.
Love on the Spectrum.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen season 4 and you don't want to be spoiled, walk away now.
Go watch it and then come back.
That's right. Go watch it and then come back.
So big things happened on this season. We had an engagement, which was super exciting.
So exciting.
And unfortunately, 2 breakups from 2 couples that were adored.
Fortunately, because if that's not your person, it's better to move on and find who is.
That's true. But let's talk about the engagement first. Let's start with the happy.
Yes.
I mean, if you watch that show and you weren't bawling your eyes out during that engagement, I mean,
we were blubbering.
Yeah.
Like, not a pretty cry from either of us.
I feel like that's probably the norm for anyone who's watched it.
I think so too.
I mean, this man, Tyler, he knows how to romance. That's for sure. It's in his DNA.
Yep.
And that also comes from, just loving a woman that much that makes you be romantic. I truly feel that. It makes you want to go extra and plan the dates and do all that good stuff. But I mean,
he took her to the place they met and her favorite holiday, and he loves Christmas too. They both love
Who doesn't
Christmas.
love Christmas?
But she has a Christmas tree up in her house all year round. That's a real love.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he decorated. It was July when they met, so it was also around their anniversary that he took her back to their meeting place. So it was Christmas in July. He had Christmas trees set up. He had little reindeer out. He had a mailbox for letters to Santa, which is where the ring was hiding. Yeah. And he had 2 little rocking chairs there. And, she did know, I think she did kind of have a suspicion, but earlier in the season, she thought it was going to happen at their 1-year anniversary dinner, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And so I think he did catch her a little bit by surprise.
Well, I mean, you can be mentally prepared. We've talked about this in all sorts of aspects of life. You can be mentally prepared, and then you're still, it's still a shock. It's still,
like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the thing that got me in particular was the fact that when she said yes, the way he cried out, I'm gonna get teary even just thinking back about it. He was elated, and then he was just bawling like a baby. And how can you not cry with that man who's just so happy? These are tears of absolute fucking joy.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were all blubbering along with him.
Yeah.
How could you not?
How could you not? And one of the things I really loved is when he opened the ring box. I think there's a moment for every woman when we see proposals and we get a shot of the ring, we evaluate, is that a ring I would like? Is that a ring I wouldn't like? In my mind, I'm like, ooh, I love that ring, or ooh, I would not want that ring. And her ring on the band had diamonds and rubies kind of alternated like a candy cane. And I'm not a rubies person, but I thought that was the sweetest, most thoughtful ring choice because it's Christmas on a ring for her.
Yeah.
And just so sweet.
Right. Take notes, gentlemen. That's how you romance. This guy's giving us a master class.
Definitely.
This kid with Asperger's and autism, he's...
And I think that's the thing that I love the most about the show is that it is so innocent and pure. There is a no-filtered innocence, just being authentic that they can't help, right? When you have autism, if you're not masking, then you wear all of your insides on your outsides.
Right.
And being able to witness that in love dynamics, it's so heartwarming. And it's also, you and I have talked about this so much. That's what it should be. We should all be keeping it that simple in romance.
Right. And it can be, the reason we don't, I think, is because it can be harsh to the other person. That's just oh man, that sucks. They just flat out don't like this about me. And But in reality, that's what you're secretly saying to yourself. And it would be nice to just have that
to be able to know
openness.
Yeah, what's going on with the other person. And
Right.
I mean, we have social politenesses and things like that.
Right.
It can be too much too soon for neurotypical people.
Right.
But I think a little more vulnerability and authenticity and openness and simplicity would go a long way in relationships, especially in dating, and especially in the early stages of dating. The more you can show up,
definitely waste a lot less time. That's for sure.
Because if somebody doesn't like you for you, then you need to know that.
Right. Like, you might be single for a lot longer than you like, but yeah, you're not gonna waste your time with the wrong person.
Exactly. Exactly. And that leads us into, there was a breakup. Our longest couple, Abby and David, broke up this season.
Yep.
And it was interesting as we were watching it when Abby got the invitation to the engagement party. She had some reactions that were honest. Yeah. Like, she was reminded she wants to get married, but then also she was very...
Right. That inner polite voice was telling her, just be happy for the person, but but she couldn't contain it.
Yeah.
And they've been, dating for 4 or 5 years or something like that. And she's been pretty, open about, they've both been open, to be fair. But she wants this engagement. I feel like she's talked herself into thinking that it's not as big of a deal. And I think that's what got triggered was she was okay with, waiting. Well, it's going to happen one day. What's the rush? And then when her close friend on the show gets engaged after 1 year. Yeah. It's like,
that's a confrontational moment.
It's like, okay, I guess I do want this.
I do really want to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. And David wasn't ready. And that, neither of them are doing anything wrong. Abby's not doing anything wrong by wanting to get married and sooner. And David's not doing anything wrong by not being ready. But that is an incompatibility that when you face it, you do have a hard choice. Like, do I wait for this person? But she's waited
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. And that's plenty of time to wait when like, no, I actually do want to be married, right? I want this. And so you got to walk away and pursue what you want.
Yeah. Well, my initial reaction, while watching it is like this, he's been dragging her along. This is your typical guy that's in, I want to get the verbiage correctly, but what neurotypical is
not autistic.
Not autistic, and neurodivergent is autistic. I was like, okay. So I'm, it's just instantly I'm coming from neurotypical brain thinking this is just another guy that,
stringing a girl along.
Stringing a girl along. He doesn't, he's never wants to get married, but I'm trying not to think about it that way.
Yeah. And just for the specifics of it, neurodivergent covers other things now too, like ADHD, and it's not all autistic, but neurotypical would classically mean like your brain functions in the way that, I don't know if it's the way brains are meant to function. I don't think that's really right either. But the majority of how brains function, and neurotypical would be the minority of that. And there's lots of things on that spectrum. Yeah. But which is why it's level on the spectrum, because there's Asperger's, there's autism, there's different levels of autism, there's ADHD, there's odd ADHD. There's so many things now, right? Yeah. It's a rainbow of beautiful brains that work differently.
But anyways, it just sucks because they were the first, they were the OG,
they were the first success story in the American season.
Every season it was like, oh well, we know Abby and David are good. So.
Yeah, so our whole worlds are like, oh no, not Abby and David.
Yeah, but I could see it. As soon as that conversation, I was like, they're gonna break up.
You said that while we were watching it, and I was like, I don't think so. Like, I could tell she's ready before him, but I thought she would wait for him. I really just thought, she would wait, and who knows, what the conversations, we didn't get to see on camera how their story really unfolded or how their breakup unfolded, but we wish them the best, and I hope they both find what they're looking for.
100%.
One of the breakups we did get to see more on camera is my favorite person, Connor. Yeah, Connor and Georgie broke up this season. And I mean, I almost hate to say this, but from their first date, I was not a Georgie fan. I thought Connor was too good for Georgie.
Wow.
But I love the way he loves her, and I was so happy for him, but I, secretly in the back of my mind, I'm thinking,
maybe the better way to put it is they're just not right for each other. Not that he's
that's not what I thought.
For her. Okay.
So I'm not masking here. That's not what I thought. What I thought was Georgie's not good enough for Connor. I love Connor.
As do I.
So
someone that loves British culture and British arts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And movies. And
he feels like a kindred spirit.
He is a kindred spirit, for sure. But I thought that their dynamic this season, it was really beautiful to watch and witness because it's, he's coming into a more confident, secure version of himself as a result of meeting her and loving her. So in that way, I think Georgie's just perfect for him for the season they lasted for, right? But like one of the things that when the season started, he was confiding in his mom that he wasn't really sure if Georgie really felt romance feelings for him, if it was a friendship or if it was a love relationship. And he kind of felt like she was hot and cold with him. And that's so relatable for anyone who's ever dated when you're sitting in that tension of like, are we on the same page? Does this person like me as much as I like them? Is it going somewhere? Am I getting friend zoned? Like he was living in that tension of, I can't really read her. I really don't know how she feels. And I think he was even like, I know what I'm feeling and I don't want to keep feeling this if she's not there.
Right.
And so his mom encouraged him to meet that head on and to have the courage to speak up and ask her so early on in the season, he did have a conversation with her where he put her on the spot. He was like, listen, I just want to know, are we just friends or is this romance? And she said, this is romance.
Right.
And one of the reasons he stated that he didn't know what it was is that she's not as physically affectionate as him. Like sometimes when he tries to go to kiss her, she pulls away, and she was able to be vulnerable and say, I'm still not comfortable with kissing yet because sensory for her, it's just not comfortable and she hasn't done it a whole lot. And so her comfort zone isn't in the physical affection, but she wanted him to know that didn't mean that she doesn't like him. It's just she's still getting used to kissing a boy, And but then later, so they're all good after that conversation. Mm-hmm. Romance is back. Green light, go.
Go to England.
They go to England together. He takes her to England. Mm-hmm. And they have a good time for most of the trip, but she, makes some sarcastic jokes that he doesn't really know how to take.
Yeah.
At his expense.
Yeah. Well, while he's pouring his soul out.
Well, yeah, I'm getting to that part. So they go to Hyde Park. They're in the Rose Garden, and they finally sit down after walking around for a while. And he starts to pour his heart out. He starts to try to be really romantic and affectionate. He's kind of being sentimental and talking about how it feels like just yesterday they went on their first date and played croquet. And, mid-sentence, she's like, ooh, the bumblebees.
Yeah.
And then he'll try again. And then mid-sentence, like 3 or 4 different times, she's like, a bird, a bee, a ladybug. And you could tell he's getting frustrated. Like, he's trying to have a moment and she keeps interrupting it. Now, I do think she also made a couple of little small bids for connection. She was like pointing out there was a heart, a cloud that looked like a heart.
Yeah, that's true.
And that the bird was not just a bird, maybe it was a love dove. Mm-hmm. But she was very distracted by nature. And, you could just tell his heart was like deflated.
Right.
So then the next scene is he's back at the hotel with his mom and kind of recapping the trip. And he says something along the lines to his mom of like, I was trying to have this romantic moment with Georgie at the park. And his exact words were, she was more transfixed by the honeybees and the ladybugs than with me. Mm-hmm. And his mom says, well, how did that make you feel? And he's like, I felt invisible.
Yeah.
And I just, I mean, I can't count the times that I have felt invisible in a relationship because the way that I communicate love and the way that I receive love is just not the way the other person does it.
And that's not to say that people who have different love languages can't, can't get on the same page. And
Absolutely.
Can't, like, you and I have different love languages.
Yeah, I'm a words of affirmation person.
Yeah, I'm an acts of service.
Right, and I'm not. But we have stuff in common too. We both have, we both enjoy physical touch, and we both enjoy quality time. I was having trouble thinking of what that word is. Like, what's that word? Quality time. So I feel like we speak some of common love language,
right.
But then we're opposites in other things. But I think the important thing is, Gary Chapman, when he wrote about love languages, he calls it, everybody has a love tank. And so your job is to fill the other person's love tank. But if you're filling it with diesel, when the car doesn't take diesel, it's going to not be good.
Right.
And so,
which is something that, you just have to work. You have to work through.
Yeah, you have to work to accommodate.
I will feel, I'll feel like, well, my acts of service are, this should be enough what I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not how it works.
No.
it's only
not.
part of the equation.
It is only part of the equation. And I mean, I think the cool thing is that in your case, acts of service, I love to receive acts of service. Yeah. I'm not good at performing them for my partner, but like receiving them actually does fill my love tank. So I'm not like, you're not doing enough because you're not speaking words of affirmation. But I also am not okay with 0 words of affirmation ever in our lives. Like right. I need some of it, but I don't need as much as I give because I do receive acts of service.
Right.
As love. Like I do see that as
so I guess
love.
It's kind of a spectrum as well.
Yeah, it is. It's not a black or white thing.
Yeah. But with Connor and Georgie, they just weren't
unfortunately. It's just a compatibility.
For all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not for me because I want Connor to be with somebody else.
You still want you want it to work out with whoever he's with. Like at least you want all the magic to happen, Yeah, it wasn't the right person, but that still sucks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right. Like, it does suck.
Because it could have, we don't know that. He didn't know that. She didn't know that until we got to this point.
No, that's a really good point because that's the point of dating.
Yeah.
You don't know if that person is your person, and you can think they are, and that doesn't mean you're wrong when it turns out they're not. She was the right person for him until he realized that some needs that he had weren't being met. And she couldn't.
Yeah, after communicating.
Yeah.
It still wasn't happening.
He didn't just dump her because she made a joke or got distracted. He talked to her about it and he talked to other people about it. But
really, I mean, I think what should have happened, which, hindsight, it is what it is as the person going through it, as Connor, what he should have done, it's easier to say, but is during that, whenever that was happening in the moment, like, Georgie, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to pour my heart out and I'm getting nothing back. At least that's what he felt.
Yeah. Yeah. If he
Not
could have
that
addressed
she wasn't.
it.
She was trying to. I feel like in her own way. Like you said, with the cloud that looked like a heart and he didn't see it. And then and that's actually a pretty good metaphor that they found within the show within that moment was by the time he looked up at it, it was already broken.
Aww.
She said.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, it already broke in half."
Yeah. Ooh.
The exact moment that
it was the exact moment they were breaking in half. Yeah. Wow.
Unbeknownst at the time, probably for both of them, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like in the best case scenario, in your highest level self, you'd be able to, in the moment, address it in real time. But so many people, I mean, I just, as a dating coach, like so many people struggle for those real time moments. And one thing that I teach is like, ask for a redo, and like, hey, remember when this happened? Like, can I have a redo of this conversation? Or in the moment, I should have said this, but, I couldn't find my words or I froze.
Right.
But I need to, circle back.
Right.
And tell you this thing. And, but ultimately, I think at the end of the day, like we don't know how the breakup conversation went. We didn't get to see that part.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think he made the right decision. And I do, I do think for me, I don't want somebody just to be in love for being in love's sake, because love isn't enough. Like, yes, I love the love and I love watching love stories unfold, but like if you're with the wrong person, eventually that's gonna be pain wrapped in love. And like as a dating coach, I am trying to actively help people stay out of that. So for me, I'm like, break up sooner. Let's go. Let's, if it's not right, get out and find your person. But again, I think that Georgie like unlocked a new Connor. I mean, we saw a different Connor this season, and that
he believes in love now, I think.
Yeah, that is a result of their relationship. So it wasn't a waste of time, which is another thing that
truly believes in love.
He truly and he has evidence that he can have it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that. You need those intro relationships. Sometimes the first relationship you have is going to be it, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're going to build upon that. You're going to take what was really good and believe you can have that again with somebody else, and it's even better, and you just keep building from there. So either way, it's a win-win for them both. They both got to experience something really beautiful, and they called it at the right time, which I think is actually a win, even though it is heartbreaking. I'm sure both of them are going to go through pain, and that sucks for sure. But like ultimately, it's really what's best for them both.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all in all, great season.
It was a great season.
Even though we had some heartache.
Even though some heartache,
but we also had a big celebration. So
yeah. So very enjoyable season. Highly recommend.
Looking forward to more.
Yeah.
Hopefully next season we'll see the wedding.
Yeah. And hopefully next season we'll be able to talk through episode by episode.
Yeah.
And really, share all of our joy and our musings with you guys.
Or at least episode dump through episode dump, as Netflix likes to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we will see you guys back here for the next conversation. And don't forget, submit your questions, and we'll talk to you soon.
Can't wait.